Live from Kentucky and Louisiana, 2 Marines, 1 mission. This is Sense and Senseless.
Like,
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can start selling feet pics in a little while and maybe build up my 401k. But
I brought it up once. I'm sorry I did. I fessed my sins up. I did tell my wife, like, just a couple snapshots, maybe. I was like, yeah, that's weird. Especially if one of your family members purchases, you're like, Dad, I didn't realize that was her. I couldn't see a face. Like, you pervert. Oh, yeah, you see this pair of that? That's your mom's. Oh, gosh, dang, that's nasty. Sorry. Had to go there.
Did you watch any of the Trump's address Wednesday?
No.
Okay. Well, I watched it, and leading up to it, they kept saying, "Well, we got this Trump is going to come out and have this address," and they were kind of leaning towards he's going to come out and say that this war is going to end. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that sounds great. Even as much as I disagree that I don't think that this was going to be something quick, and I don't like that we're there. Fuck, you going to end that thing? I'm happy for it. That no problem being wrong. So I was, eager to hear about it because they kept going back and forth on the news that day about, that Iran's close to a ceasefire. They ready to agree with a ceasefire. That's what I was hearing, on the radio and shit. And then Trump comes on. So I'm gonna give you the short rundown what I heard from Trump. And then this is what I got. It's like so Iran is totally annihilated. There's nothing left of Iran. He then gave all the reasons on why we need to defeat Iran, which has already been defeated based on his own words, many times over.
Many times.
Yeah. So then he gave justifications for starting the war. And he talked about the senile president we had prior to his current presidency. And then he tells us that it's all going to be over in maybe 2 to 4 more weeks. It was more, in my opinion, about saving the midterms, telling everybody, hey, look, everything's going great, and he kept talking about the same things over and over, just like he always does, and how we destroyed Iran and, that they're and all this other shit, and it was kind of weird to me, at first. Now, he did say a couple things that I did like. He did say that if Europe and them want the oil from the Strait of Hormuz, go get your own fucking oil.
Yeah, I did. That was funny.
I
But
like that.
I'm hearing rumors that somebody are digging into that basically he made the comment that we have a bunch here and that we might be the new seller.
Well, that's what he said in the speech. He's like, if y'all want oil, we got oil. You can come buy our oil. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too. I do too, where we're not dependent and other countries aren't dependent on some country over there I'm sorry, did they deserve what's going on? I'm starting to say no. I don't think they did, Brian. I think that it was circumstance. I think it would probably had something to do with some oil, money, things like that. But the same thing, I'd rather not be dependent on them. Like we were talking about, I said, damn, why does the cost of gas go up if we got all this oil and the reserves? And you said because of the petrodollar. And if we got away from that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That our dollar wouldn't be shit.
That a petrodollar and debt, that's what keeps our fucking money alive.
I know, but to me, why can't we just have our own?
Sell our own oil?
We do our own oil. We have our own.
We need something to back
I'll pay
our dollar up.
$1.50, dude. Just put it at $1.50 and leave it there. I'll pay that. Because I know if I don't pay a little bit more for gas, people that make it, that work in the oil fields, all them jobs, they're not going to make that good of money. Just like my industry, the video industry, if you don't pay a high or a decent cost for your cable and internet, I'm not going to make good money. But I don't understand why we're letting other people dictate how much our money's worth. Just shut the border and we say our money's worth $1. $1's worth $1. Is that?
I don't know if we can do that though, because
Why not? We got our own resources. What else do we need, Brian?
We need something to back the dollar. I think, and I'm going to do some more looking into this because I'm doing the world debt. There's so many other countries that own our debt based off of what is it, our bonds and shit and the shit they buy from us. We don't we don't hold nothing of any value for our dollar. So if you have a house and it's worth $70,000 or $200,000, whatever, you have something of value that you own that holds value. We don't have nothing but just empty zeros and ones that controlled what our dollars were.
Yeah, but I'm getting at that I don't care no more. Just shut the border down and we don't compare our dollar to other people.
So we
'Cause that's
just
basically
do everything within the United States. We don't
that's right.
trade.
No,
We just
shut
do
her down. Just do everything here.
So
Build
we
our
be-
military up, our
we, be-
defenses.
we become Cuba.
We just do our own damn thing.
I'm not saying that's a bad idea. I just don't know how you get to that. Because we would have to create a lot of shit before we get to that. I think we need to bring a lot of shit back to this country and start producing more shit. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think we need to be self-sustained. So I'm not against that.
Now,
You know?
hey, hear me out. And if anybody is Hispanic on listen to this, well, welcome. We like diversity and stuff. We're not DEI, not saying that, but we do like diversity. I don't mind go down and work something out with Mexico and bring them in and cut that little Panama, whatever. It's the Panama Canal right there that cuts off South America and Mexico, right?
No,
sure?
Panama Canal cuts off in Panama, but it's further south than Mexico.
Yeah, but anyways, so all these companies of ours that went down to Mexico for cheap labor. Guess what? Welcome back, bitches.
So what, we make them part of our economy?
Yeah. And go up there and kick Trudeau or whatever his name is in the balls and kick him out. And we have Canada and Mexico, so North America, and we do our own thing. We have our own stuff.
So what we're going to do? We're going to take over Canada and Mexico?
No, we talk the people into like, hey, let's all get together. Let's all do this right. And let's all cut ourselves off from all this other stupid stuff. We're not supporting Israel. We're not supporting Russia. We're not supporting China. We're not supporting anybody. We're going to, because here's the problem. If you don't get Canada and Mexico involved with it, there's your borders. There's where people can funnel through to mess with us. Now, the only other place would be Alaska, where if that's, free, Russia's right across the water there in the Bering Sea. But other than that, man, you just get them on board. People say, screw Canada, screw Mexico. Like, dude, they're up in here anyways. Might as well. And then we standardize everything. We don't have Mexicans up here making $2 an hour, driving costs down so companies can get rich and hire cheap labor. No more of that, there, fools. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to get paid a fair price, and you'll make a decent amount of money for your product. But you're not going to be gillionaires while the rest of us starve to death.
Well, won't you look into that and see how we can make that work? See how we make that feasible, and if it would
I
be
ain't got
feasible.
time, dude. I got too much stuff at work to do.
We all got.
I wish I could, but I'm just saying, what?
Dude, have you played any Farm Simulator lately?
Oh, dude, I played a little bit today before we got on here.
Then you had time to research that.
Hey, it's the first time I played it in a while. And I wanted to see how the new PC. So people I bought or built a new PC, it's kind of cool. You can kind of see the reflection of my glasses. It's got a bunch of RGB lights in it, and it's colorful. It's a rainbow.
So
it's not LGBTQ'd rainbow. This is more God, but I like a rainbow. But go ahead.
We're supposed to be ending this war in the next 2 to 4 weeks, according to the speech Wednesday. And then also this week, they put out a quick order for hardened bunkers, because the bunkers we have in the Middle East just aren't good enough. And basically it says that they asking specifically for prefabricated bunkers designed to protect personnel from blast and fragmentation threats, such as rockets, drones, and missiles. Vendors must detail their ability to deliver within extremely tight timelines, 3 days, 15 days, or 30 days, and specify the highest threat levels their products can withstand. From what I read, we need these bunkers because the ones we have in the Middle East are subpar for the weapons of the current war and shit. So if we're about to end this war, why does the Pentagon need all these bunkers so quickly?
So what I'm saying, they contradict themselves all the time.
Oh,
That's why
yeah.
you don't know who to believe.
No. And, the thing about the Strait Hormuz, I'm glad that, or as of right now, and it could have changed in the last hour or whatever, but he decided that, he wanted the other countries to go ahead and do what they could to take care of that shit. And that means that he's respecting our people and he's not going to put our people's lives on the lines to open that up. And I agree with that. I'm good with that. So hopefully we stay that way. And then he let out this Truth Social post I wanted to read to you. It said, I think this one was after. I don't remember if it was after before, but it was in the middle of the week. It says all of those countries that can't get jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz, like the United Kingdom, which refused to get involved in the decapitation of Iran. I have a suggestion for you. Number one, buy from U.S. We have plenty. Number two, build up some delayed courage, go to the Strait and just take it. You'll have to start learning how to fight for yourself. The U.S. won't be there to help you anymore, just like you wasn't there for us. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done. Get your own oil. President DJT.
Yeah, I read that this week. That was funny.
I like that. And again, there's some things that, that Trump, I didn't like. I have no problem with him being, the tough guy. I have a problem whenever we go in and we do something like the Maduro thing, when we went in and we bombed Iran. Okay, that was, he got there, he did this shit, we got away. I'm good with that. This shit like here going in Iran and basically waging war on them, I don't like that. I just don't.
Yeah, especially to a country that looks forward to it.
And then one thing that I really liked what he said in the speech, it was he said that if and this is how I interpret it. He said if the European countries don't want to open the strait, then fuck it, leave it closed. Buy you all from the US, we have plenty. The strait will eventually open naturally. That's how he said it. And I thought that was very smart because if you think about it, eventually it's gotta open. That Strait of Hormuz is where they get all their material from, right? So the people that's in that area eventually are going to have to start, or people are going to start to starve. People are going to start. It's going to eventually have to open. So fuck it. We'll just leave. Y'all deal with it, and eventually it'll just open itself up. Somebody will fucking do it.
Right.
So, but we keep getting these mixed messages from the Trump administration, and it's just like we were saying, it's confusing, and it makes them all seem like they're hiding something. We've discussed this multiple times, and so something just feels off with these guys. Just like we were saying earlier, just something's not right. And then I seen this from Marco Rubio on why Iran should focus on Iran. Let's check this out.
And at the end of the day, I think that if there are people in Iran who now, given everything that's happened, are willing to move in a different direction for their country, that would be great. Imagine in Iran that instead of spending their wealth, billions of dollars supporting terrorists or weapons, had spent that money helping the people of Iran, you'd have a much different country. So we are always hopeful that that would exist over there.
Seems like we should be doing the same shit here, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. It's just
do as I say, not as I do. That's what they love preaching, dude. I'm saying their country should do that, not ours.
Not ours.
Jeez. Damn, Israel, did you hear what they just said? What do you want me to do about that? Go bomb them? Okay, we'll go do that.
It's like, no shit, dude. I mean, we're not taking care of our own people. Oh no, we just
Yeah.
got to send all our shit overseas.
Yeah.
And
People
this
don't
is,
make money without us doing that stuff, dude. I'm just being honest. If we don't do it every once in a while, people ain't making money.
yeah. I mean, war makes a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, but it's true. And so let's look at this from another point of view. Marco Rubio had also stated that we had to strike Iran because Israel's going to strike Iran, and if Israel struck Iran, then Iran would strike us. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm just paraphrasing, but I mean that's the gist of it. And outside of the nuclear threat that has been 2 weeks away for 30 years, this was the other reason we had to strike Iran. Israel didn't technically pull us into this war, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say we had to go to war with them, but if they struck Iran, then Iran would strike us. And then they got a nuclear weapon. It's going to be 2 weeks away and all this bullshit. This is why we got to go. We got to go to war. And I brought all this shit back up to try to make sense of what's going on and why it seems that this administration has been hijacked. Now, I want you to listen to this from Tucker on how smart Marco Rubio is.
The Secretary of State's a little smarter than people think. A lot of people remember Rubio from 2016 when Trump humiliated him on stage and he looked like the definition of a beta. And he's, not very smart. He's smart. He's subtle in his thinking. How did this war start? And you just accidentally say we had no choice. Israel dragged us into it. I don't believe for a second that he said that accidentally. It's just no chance. It was high stakes stuff. This is like days after the war started. It's not something a Secretary of State says accidentally, period. And so I do think there was resentment. I don't know on his part, but I think there was, I know there was resentment.
The administration wanted the public to know.
There's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
There's no question in my mind.
So are they like saying the quiet part out loud without intentionally saying it directly?
Yep. The truth always comes out, dude. Even in a lie, it comes out.
I mean, are
People
they quiet?
slip up and say shit.
Yeah, but are they quietly telling us that the administration has been hijacked? I could be reading too much into this, but it was an observation and I thought it was worth looking into. And,
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense what we're doing.
No. It doesn't make sense what we're doing, how they're talking. It's contradicting shit. And then,
well, looking back on 9/11, you're not as crazy to sit there and think that the World Trade Center was not aircraft taking it down. It was done inside. Right. And what did it do? It brought our country to say, heck yeah, let's go after these fools.
And it also
nobody in America that I know of, not a whole lot of people, Brian, support us going over to Iran and doing what we're doing. It's not. Look at his ratings.
Yeah, we don't even support it. I couldn't imagine how the country's feel about it.
So is that not a definition of being hijacked? Who is pushing? He ought to, if somebody isn't pulling that string other than in America, why would our ratings be that horrible? We would only do it if the public was like on board with it.
Well, you saw that the Dow must not be right, huh? Because Pam Bondi, she got fired this week.
Yeah, damn it, the Dow. Wonder if she said that as she was getting fired.
I don't know. It almost seems like Trump's, he's like trimming the fat, fucking.
Yeah, but he said in his little truth thing that he didn't fire her.
Oh, he didn't?
She was taking on a different role in the private sector.
I don't know. I think he's fucking. He sees that the ship is sinking and he's cutting weight. This is how I seen it, because it's a lot of movement. And we're going to see how time goes on. So we lost Christy Nome and now we lost this one. I can't say lost. And maybe he's just trying to be nice to him. Maybe they had a free fall, but I did see Thomas Massey. So they got Todd Blanche is going to be taking up for him. Taking up over for him.
He's already working him, telling him to come out with them files.
You saw that shit?
Yeah, I seen it. He ain't slow to react.
Fuck no. I thought that was great. And then I see all this stuff with Trump, going back and forth with these people. And it remember the Rhinestone Cowboy?
I haven't seen that in so long.
Well, Ryan Stone, you remember with Sylvester Stallone at the end of the movie, he's got a Dolly Parton has to challenge of getting him to be able to become a country singer, right? So he's in the country bar and he's there and he just fucking he's playing, but he sucks ass. And then he turns around. And this is what it reminds me of Trump. If I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down my way. Watch, check out old Ryan Stone cowboy. This is what Trump reminds me of. I'm going down my way. If I'm going down my way.
Down my way.
Hey, you going, bitch? You going, bitch?
He ain't going to. He keeps cutting people. He's not going to have a cabinet to impeach. Maybe that's what he's doing, just getting it down to him.
There you go. Yeah, you bring me the information. I don't want to talk to none of these motherfuckers. You bring me the information. One last thing about the Trump administration this week. So I don't know if you've seen about the ballroom construction.
Yeah, I heard about that too. A judge told them they couldn't do it.
No, they couldn't do it. But then they said just 2 days later that they were approved. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot. But he done tore the fucking place down. So
they just gonna leave a big old hole there.
I mean, I guess what I was.
Is that like an HOA? Like an HOA come up in there and said, "Hold up, time out. You can't do that."
Yeah, you can't rebuild that. Well, I done tore it down. Well, you can't build it.
Yeah, your mailbox can only be this height. And it's 1 inch. It's 1 inch taller. You need to cut that down. I mean, come on. Where do judges get the right to do this stuff?
But regardless, just think about the logic of it. The whole place is tore the fuck down, and they have to stop.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Well, I'm sorry, but no. I know you have private funds to rebuild this. I know you tore it down, but know what? You got to stop.
Yep.
And so they approved it. I mean, once you tear something down, I mean, of course you got to build it up. They should have stopped him before he fucking started tearing it down. But this is my question: was this a big lesson in to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission?
I don't know, man, because don't we have bigger stuff to worry about other than the damn ballroom at the White House?
Did you see how much
See the
knocked down?
Did you see the Dow, though?
Did you see it? All right. Let's talk a little about Charlie Kirk.
All right. So God rest his soul. I miss that dude. I miss seeing his videos.
Me too. Did you see that they had the analysis on the bullet come back?
I heard it. If I ain't mistaken, it wasn't a 30-06, right?
Well, they didn't say that. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play the new development. They didn't say it wasn't a 30-06. They just said they couldn't prove it came from that rifle, supposedly.
Okay.
All right, let's check this out.
We're following new developments in the case of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin. Now, remember, Tyler Robinson is accused of killing the right-wing activist at a campus event last September. But now his lawyers claim the fatal bullet may not match the gun allegedly used in the crime.
It's been nearly 7 months since conservative political activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed during a Utah Valley University campus event on September 10th last year. Now, attorneys for Tyler Robinson, the man charged in Kirk's killing, are asking to delay his preliminary hearing to review a mountain of material they say could help his defense. In a new court filing, the defense claims in an ATF report summary that the agency, quote, was unable to identify the bullet recovered at autopsy to the rifle allegedly tied to Mr. Robinson.
Doesn't mean that those bullets aren't the same or that they aren't connected. It just means there isn't enough evidence there to come to a conclusion.
CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson says this is not unusual.
It is sometimes difficult to match bullets that were recovered at autopsy with bullets that are associated with a defendant's gun. And that could be based on lack of evidence and lack of markings on those bullets.
Robinson has been charged with aggravated murder in Kirk's death. He has not yet entered a plea. Prosecutors intend to seek the death penalty.
Robinson hid the gun and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages.
Prosecutors allege Robinson admitted to killing Kirk in those text exchanges.
Roommate You weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry.
Prosecutors also say they have DNA evidence that connects Robinson to the killing. Levinson says the inability to conclusively match the bullet won't necessarily damage the prosecution's case.
The prosecution has other evidence to rely on. This does not completely undermine their case.
Nothing to see here.
I see you got your hat on.
Yep, because we're going to get into some conspiracy shit. I can't say this is right or wrong. I can't say if it's, right now with the ballistics, they're saying that they can't match it. And I'm gonna play this other guy who's an expert, because there's no rifling on it, because it's just a fragment. And we're going to go deeper into this on how I think about this shit. But I want to get all this information out on how they're looking at it, so we can discuss this in a manner to where we're looking at both sides, where yes, it doesn't match the gun. This is why it can't, this is why possibly it doesn't match the gun. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to play this guy real quick. And
let me give you some expert analysis on why this Charlie Kirk ballistics report is nothing to get worked up over just yet. Now, what happened in the ballistics report is that they were unable to match that bullet recovered from the Charlie Kirk crime scene to Tyler Robinson's rifle, which is the alleged shooter, which was found nearby the shooting location. They said they couldn't rule it in, they couldn't rule it out because the bullet had fragmented. Well, guess what? Bullets fragment all the time. It's entirely common. Look right here. This is actually a test on a Hornady law enforcement 308 Winchester, which is a common law enforcement round used in AR-10s and its bolt-action sniper rifles, 150 grain. And as you can see, when it went through just wallboard, which is not as stiff as bone or concrete or whatever that bullet could have hit, it fragmented into a bunch of pieces. That gelatin you see behind is ballistics gelatin. That's part of the FBI protocol. It's how they measure the performance of bullets after the 1981 FBI shooting, where a bunch of FBI agents got shot because the bullets underperformed. It's how they test bullets. Point being, when it hit that really pretty intermediate, not very strong barrier, it fragmented in a way where you couldn't do ballistics on that either. Ballistics measures, remember, the rifling on the inside of the barrel, because that's unique to every single rifle, just like a fingerprint. If it's destroyed, you don't have enough material to work with. That's what happened right here. Now, for myself, I've probably shot 500,000 rounds in my life. I've seen combat in Ukraine. I was the armorer for my battalion, a land warfare unit. I've instructed people both in a military and self-defense capacity, shot competitively, hunting, people, everything. I've seen bullets hit everything, okay? People, armored vehicles, houses, whatever you can name, I've seen it. And this is common. Nothing unusual here just yet.
yeah, nothing to see here yet.
Yep.
So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and the bullet fragment when it hit Charlie's skin. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
There was no exit wound, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the rest of the fucking bullet?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They could have done an X-ray on his body and seen all the fragments.
They could at
If
least
it didn't exit, it's floating around. It was in there. Go get it.
Yeah, if you had what he said, 115 grain round.
Yeah.
So where's the what do you have now? Where's the rest of it? It's got to be in there. Just like he said, it's like ragu. It's in there. His neck stopped it. Superman.
Superman.
Sunday, Superman. Fucking dumb shit, man. And then I watched Candace this week, and she had a pretty good week, man. And she was talking about some of this shit. But this is Candace on the shooter being a patsy. Let's check this out.
A patsy?
Patsy Cline.
Like I said, I have recorded and documented every piece of this case. I have been meticulous about this. There is an overwhelming, they love to use that word, there was an overwhelming amount of evidence that the feds set this kid up as a patsy. Okay? Everyone in the town, all the local sheriff departments, the SWAT team, they believe that the feds came in and they started lying and they were sending people on wild goose chase and they, said the gun was here and they said it was over there. There was no gun. They didn't want the bomb dogs to go into certain places. Like I said, I am not getting this information from people that do not have the credibility to assert that. That's how I got the pictures inside of the car. Okay, I am speaking to people with first-hand intimate knowledge, and they all believe that the feds set this up. So how are there people out there saying otherwise? Why wouldn't I testify for the defense? I want to find Charlie's real killer. I don't want to find some random kid that they're singing this on. It's not Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson did not do this alone. I feel the opposite of how Erica Kirk felt sitting next to Barry Weiss. With everything I have collected, I feel the exact opposite as Charlie Kirk's wife. I feel almost certain that Tyler Robinson did not shoot. I would say I feel 99.9% certain that Tyler Robinson did not shoot Charlie Kirk from a rooftop by himself. How about that? I'm going to say 0.1% because, I don't know, you just should never say 100% unless you're, Erica Kirk's lawyers. 100%, we'll get him. We're just going to go on vibes. No, you're going on corruption, not vibes. What she feels 100% certain about, confident about, is that there is a bunch of people who will lie for her. She's got a police force behind her. She's got 33 behind her. She's got the White House, Scott Bessent, that'll publish letters saying that they're so upstanding and so moral, right? That's what she feels 100% certain of, is that she's connected to the billionaire class of Epstein-type people who lie about everything. Me, I follow the facts, and Tyler Robinson did not do this. He's not a lone gunman on a rooftop, okay? So I challenge you. I challenge any person, like I've done over and over again. If you feel so 100% overwhelmed by the evidence that Tyler Robinson did this, please come sit in this studio and debate me. I need someone to debate on this. Because the best you have is, well, Kash Patel said 33, and Governor Cox, who had nothing to do with the arrest or the, I should just say, they just apprehended him, of Tyler Robinson. He had nothing to do with it. He did a press conference. In fact, Sheriff Brooksby, who just resigned, actually tells the truth about how Tyler Robinson was turned in. Listen to the words he is saying. He is saying what I have told you. Basically, that this might.
All right. So, yes, the sheriff did resign this week. Bullet comes out and the sheriff resigns. And I got a little bit on the sheriff also. You want to listen to that before we discuss this?
Heck yeah, let's listen to that.
All right, let's go ahead.
I love a resigning sheriff right after a
So
conspiracy.
this is interesting. Sheriff Nate Brooksby has resigned suddenly. He had like a COVID resignation, died suddenly, resigned suddenly. Okay. And that's the Washington County Sheriff. Just to jog your memory here. Nate Brooksby was the guy that initially came out. It was to the Washington County Sheriff's Department that allegedly Tyler had turned himself in, right? He resigned, and now there's an interim sheriff in place, and there's, like I said, they're in the middle of an election, so now they're down to a single candidate. The resignation occurred on Friday, and there has not been a public statement given for this out-of-nowhere resignation. But over the weekend, his name was quietly removed from the sheriff's office website and social media pages, and there was a lot of speculation. And I saw that some people said that there was going to be more information that was coming out. Now, my instinct is that there's going to be some corruption. He's gotten involved in something and he has to quietly resign. Like if you're in the middle of an election, they're usually digging up dirt on you. They may have found something. I am wondering if this might have something to do with Tyler Robinson and the Charlie Kirk case. I don't know for certain, but I'm interested. In a statement that was released by the Washington County Commission, the officials confirmed that he had tendered his resignation on Friday and that he announced his retirement, noting that he had served in law enforcement for more than 30 years. So that's interesting. I do want to jog your memory, though, because I was sitting here going, one of the biggest lies that makes me so angry that people keep repeating, and there is no truth to this, there's no truth to this, is that Tyler Robinson's dad handed him in, that Tyler Robinson confessed to the crime. And there's not a shred of proof to this. First and foremost, it does not pass the common sense test, okay? Common sense. If I say that I am guilty of something and I turn myself in and I say I did it, the first thing they make you do at any police station is sign a statement. That is your confession. I did this. I am guilty. Signed Tyler Robinson. And then you hand that in, and there we go. We got it. Has anybody watched like the first 48? Anybody used to watch like TLC shows? Get educated. Okay, this is how it goes down at police stations. You're guilty. You sign a statement. And the same would be true, by the way, if his father had handed him in. Okay, that would be a witness statement. You would say, I saw so-and-so, whatever, and this is my statement. None of this has been presented as evidence. Instead, I was going, where did this idea come from that he had signaled that he was guilty? And I thought, was it Sheriff Brooksby? Because I told you that I had a source that was very close to Tyler Robinson's family. And the story goes that Tyler Robinson repeatedly said that he was not guilty, that he was surprised when he was confronted by the family friend who we know is Mike Mitchell, who used to work for the sheriff's department, but Tyler Robinson knows him because he was his Boy Scouts coach or whatever. I don't know how Boy Scouts work, his Boy Scouts leader or whatever. And so he was the one that said to him, they have your prints on a gun and like, it's going to be.
She goes on to say that the prints, they found multiple prints and multiple DNA on the rifle. Yet the only person identified from the prints and the DNA was Tyler Robinson. And she said it was like 6 different DNA samples and prints found on the rifle. And who are the other ones? Because she even points out, and it's very smart for her to say this, is it's Tyler Robinson's rifle. Of course his fucking prints and DNA is going to be on it.
Right.
Who else's prints and DNA is on? Who are those people? And no one
Whoever probably
saying that.
got it and staged it.
Right.
It probably went through a bunch of different hands to get it there.
It makes sense. So why aren't they releasing that? And if this guy is guilty, then why is he putting up a defense? Why does, if he already, like she said, if you went in and he signed a guilty plea,
right?
What are we still having a defense for? He said he's guilty.
So I mean, the only thing he should be in court about is maybe because trying to not get hammered, right?
Yeah, maybe doing a plea deal or something.
Yeah, but not trying to say I'm not guilty now. I know I said I'm guilty, but I'm not guilty. But come on. I don't even know. Don't take this disrespectful. I'm not saying that but why are we still talking about this? A 30-06 did not hit that dude in the neck. I mean, if anybody knows ballistics on a weapon, the head would have come damn near clean off with the 30-06.
I watched some stuff on the exploding microphone theory again this week, and it's pretty plausible. One guy, even talks about with the exploding microphone theory. Again, I got my tinfoil hat on. He's saying that maybe he thinks that the charge was supposed to go into the chest cavity, and that would have been correct, but what happened is it had a mischarge or was set up wrong, and it went up and hit him in the neck. And, basically decapitated him. Well, knock him off. And that sounds to me like a very plausible situation. And he even, describes the charge and all. And is that real? Is that what happened? I don't fucking know. But it sounds more plausible than a 30-06.
Yeah. Because I get you. Well, damn, dude, that makes a whole lot of sense, because if you had this thing set up to do a certain thing and it was going to create a certain wound at the trajectory and all the alignment that you did, right? And they probably tested it on a ballistic dummy multiple times to make sure they had it what they thought was right.
Yeah.
Then they could say, okay, a 30-06 did that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they had they didn't have a backup plan. If this thing looked more like a 22.
Oh, yeah.
30-06. You see what I'm saying? So the 30-06 was already locked in. It has to be a 30-06. And the way we're going to do this exploding microphone is going to give it a wound in the chest that looks like a 30-06 hitting. But like you said, something happened and it didn't hit where it was supposed to. So it nicked the carotid, because you seen that big gush of blood go out, and you seen that force that looked like something like real close hit.
Yeah.
I mean, that force,
blood,
that jerky did look like a big round hitting, but it didn't, because there was, a 30-06 is going to put a hole like that or whatever, and then it's going to be like that coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's taking shit with it.
I still want to see the rounds that were still in the magazine or still in the rifle, whatever he had in the rifle, because they said there was multiple rounds in the rifle. I want to see what those rounds are, because and I'm not a ballistic expert, but if that was a full metal jacket, I just don't see that stop.
Okay, here's the other deal, Brian. Put it up on a roof. Put it up on a roof with a ballistic dummy, and you're like, no, it's not. Prove to us, and put a damn ballistic dummy in a chair at a table and put a sniper up on the roof with that weapon and shoot the damn thing and see what happens. And if it does what it did to him, then I'll shut up. But until then, I'm not going to shut up. It wasn't a 30-6.
You know what's sad is you can't even set that scene up again in the same area because they done poured concrete and everything over that area.
Yeah, they don't want to prove it.
No, they don't. It's ridiculous the amount.
I'm about shutting people up. If I know something is true and somebody keeps arguing with me, I will set the damn thing up just to shut you up. I'm not going to just sit there and say, well, you're entitled to your opinion, Brian. You're entitled to your opinion. I'll be like, when you're like, there ain't no way you made that shot with that 12 gauge 20 or 2-inch turkey load sitting on your butt at almost 65 yards and hit a damn Jake. Okay, come meet me and we'll go out. I'll take you exactly where I shot it at, up against the tree, and we'll put a target right there, and I'll shoot the dang thing, and I'll tell you it killed it. Come with me. That's why won't they do it, Brian?
Because they don't want a visual.
They do it
like
in court. You've seen it in other court cases where
think
they've actually done ballistic tests to show this is what did the damage.
The defense would be smart to do that. You know?
Yeah. Who's to say they're not getting pressured too?
I don't know. Well, she did say that the ATF's the one that came out with this report. And so they're not the ones how she say that? They're not willing to say it's the 30-06 round. And it's smart of them because they honestly, they probably believe that it's not the 30-06, or they probably know
it's not. They know.
But they don't want to throw the FBI under the bus, right?
No.
So they're saying it might not be. So guess who's investigating it now? Who's going to look at the bullet?
The
FBI. Yeah, because the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Agency,
they're not good enough.
They're not good enough. So the FBI is going to do their own test. And they're going to do a test based off the lead. And so there was this lead test to where, and this started after JFK, this test, where they can take the bullet that they found, test the lead, and they can match that lead to whatever was built in these other rounds. And now they can tell you that it came from this rifle because it matches, this lead matches. Now, this test is so bad that the scientists and the manufacturers will no longer stand behind this test in the court of law. So they quit using this test.
But now they're going to bring it right back out.
Yeah, they're going to roll it back out for this one.
Sweet. It's making a comeback, Brian. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for
Maybe
years.
they got new science.
They do. Jeez, man. Okay.
They brought this shit out during JFK. But you know, the ATF was wrong. The FBI has more capabilities of testing ballistics because they're the FBI.
We don't put firearm in our name, but we got more info on firearms than the ATF. Next thing you know, there'll be the gurus on alcohol and tobacco.
They got everything, dude. They got everything.
I know.
It's sad to even to look at this stuff. It makes me sad to go in public and watch people be so blissful walking through life. And because I can't do that anymore because of the shit I look at. You know, it makes me sad that I don't enjoy life like I should. Not because I don't enjoy looking at this stuff. It's because you almost feel helpless. You know, you see all this shit, and when you look at this, let's flip this around. If this is, let's just say that this is a conspiracy. Let's just say this is a conspiracy. And Tyler Robinson had nothing to do with this, but he was just being manipulated online. He had a rifle. Maybe he was bringing it over there. They shot somebody. He's actually innocent, but he was kind of involved based off of like conversations or something. They can do that to anybody, man.
They can set any of us up.
They can set anybody up. You know, and that's a hard pill to swallow. It's one thing to see it in a movie,
right?
You know, but like on Shooter, you know,
at
least they took a sniper.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, so they asked him to make this shot and see if it can be made, and he made it into that can of beans or can of chili.
Yeah.
And they retrieved the round out of it, and that's what they planted in that dude that was shot. and try to plant it to him, but willing to unknowingly to them, he changes out his firing pins that even a micrometer can't tell the difference, but it's just enough it won't fire.
Yeah.
But they didn't hold nobody accountable. They just let him go. And that's how it is. Now, he went back and got vengeance, so I wonder if this Tyler Robinson will.
I don't know about that.
Wonder if he gets let go, if he's going to.
As far as we know, the guy's a mute. You never heard him talk.
No, you don't. So is he getting paid off too to take the fall for this stuff?
I don't know, man. All right, we'll get off.
Dude, I'd be singing like a canary, buddy. I'd be like, didn't do it, didn't do nothing.
That fucker got some serious book deals ahead of his way. Serious book deal. He can make some money. Whether he's convicted for innocent or he's actually guilty, he has a way to make money.
But they're going after the death penalty. You know why? To shut him up.
Oh, they'll probably just take him out back like they do in China or something.
It'll be quick.
Guilty. Boom.
Dude, I'm telling you, if he gets the death penalty, it'll be quick. It won't be him on death row for 10 years or what. It'll be quick. I guarantee within a year he'll be shut down.
You know what's even a more fucked up thing? It's like they keep talking about how Erica Kirk wants a speedy trial to get this out the way so the way she don't have to live through this. Why would you want a speedy trial versus finding out what exactly happened to your husband?
Because she knows what happened to her husband and she wants this over with so she can move on.
Now you're being a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, whatever. I don't have to wear that hat that you got on. I was thinking about doing that Hershey Kiss tinfoil thing like on signs, but I was like, no, I'm not putting that on. Probably make my feelings start acting up.
Today when I was walking through Walmart, I seen this gay couple and I knew they were gay. I mean, it's nothing against them or anything. I just knew they were gay. And when the guy turned around, he had his shirt on and it says, I love my country, but I don't support Trump. And he had an American flag on him. And I really like that. I do, because there's a lot of times you see people out there and you just think they hate their country because, they're bashing on Trump. And you can hate Trump and still love your country. I mean, I hate the government and still love the country. So, I mean, I can understand that. And I felt, I can't say I felt proud, but I was proud for someone that could actually wear something like that and stand behind it. He
Give
felt
him a smack on the butt.
No, but I mean, he felt proud enough about his own self, and what he believed in to wear that in public. Not to say that it's something bad to wear in public, but you don't see that all the time. And I like the message that he had, and I can understand why he don't like it. And this brings me into his news app. Trump, now has his own news app to where you can get news straight from the Trump administration. Is that good or bad? I don't know. He's trying to get rid of the fake news, but I don't know how I feel about that. I understand that he's trying to circumvent, what he calls fake news. I understand that. I'm not arguing that. Having said that, I don't know if we're getting the correct shit out the White House. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that either. And then now he's going to be the first president on a U.S. dollar that's still sitting in office. So now this son of a bitch got his own news app. He got his own dollar. He got his name on Bitcoin, whether it's his sons are running it or whatnot. Trump's still on the fucking Bitcoin. I mean, this guy, you can see why people won't trust him. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, because he's a narcissist.
Yes. So I understand how that gay guy was. And I felt pride for him and I understood it. And it's like, I get it. I can wear a Trump shirt and I support Trump. I don't support everything he does, but I do support Trump. And I like the way that he didn't just say Trump sucks. He's like, look, I love my government. I mean, I love our country. I just don't support the man that's in charge right now. I like that.
Right. Well, we're not happy with him either.
No, I'm just saying I like that aspect
I voted for. It's not.
Yeah.
He ain't acting like I voted for him. I'll tell you right now. I mean, if you could foresee into the future, I still ain't voting that drunk hoe in. I mean, I'm not. I'd have just, I guess the flip would have flipped wherever it did. Who we voting for, Brian? That we don't get nobody good to vote. It's kind of like hiring, man, as a supervisor or manager, and you just got turds. I mean, which one do you take? I want to have all good candidates where, man, it keeps me up at night trying to figure out which one to take. Because I got which one, man? They're all good.
Well, that's that No Child Left Behind. This is the result.
Yeah, but Trump and Kamala are both way older than that.
Oh, I'm talking about when you're talking about your candidates for work.
No, I'm saying when you have had multiple ones that are really good and it's stressing you out. Which one do I take? Which one do I take? They're both good. Can I not have both of them?
The only problem I have with that analogy, though, is when I voted for Trump, I was behind Trump. You know what I'm saying? He was
Yes.
what I wanted. I didn't want someone else.
Well, you seen him in his first term.
Right. I didn't want DeSantis. I like DeSantis. I didn't want DeSantis. I didn't want anyone else. I wanted Trump. I can't say that now. It's not that I didn't lose all hope in him. I can say that. But there's just some shit that just don't look right, man. And a lot of people, well, we said that earlier. You see it in his poll numbers. You know, I think the only ones that are real behind him are the MAGA hardcores. And those guys, he can bury bodies and it would help him bury bodies, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I get that. And so he's not going to lose them, but there's a lot of independents now and we're getting more and more of us. And I think that's the shift that this country needs to make is like,
right.
And that's what I used to say years ago before I even started voting was, you know, everyone says that we don't have a choice to who to vote in. Well, just quit supporting people.
Right.
You know, if you quit supporting them, they need you. They need you. You know, they need the independent voter. If people aren't going out and they need to do something to make you happy. And that's where we need to get. We need to bring our power back. So, yeah, I think right now we just got some bad optics. And if you're a Trump supporter, you one of the MAGAs, you're probably real happy about, you know, Trump dollar bill. I mean, gonna be honest. If I get a crisp Trump dollar bill, I'm gonna make sure I keep them before everybody burns them up because you're gonna start seeing people in the street burning Trump dollar bills or whatever they are. And you know his new app and shit. But if you're not a Trump supporter, it don't look good. You know, it's not very good optics. And regardless of what you think, shit still costs more right now.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as a win.
No, I'm still waiting on gas and groceries to come down when he got in office, and it never did.
Well, you remember last week what I played, huh? You got to sacrifice.
Jeez, dude.
You got to sacrifice, man.
This is the Sense and Senseless podcast.